Hey everyone, welcome back to Seekers of the Malediction. I am Pat, and today we have another battle report. This is going to be the last round of the April TTS tournament, which I won first place with Auric. This is, again, my John Auric deck, which if you guys haven't caught it, there is a video to the deck review that I've done. And this deck is a great example, or this game rather, is a great example of exactly what this deck can do and excel at. Unfortunately, we draw into 3 attachments plus Call to Arms, which is just gross. Again, I'm only playing 4 attachments and then the 2 Call to Arms. And putting down Priest and Terric Beast just isn't going to do it. So this is one of the rare games where I actually mulligan my hand. If I even if I bid away one and played one on a Priest, which I don't really want an attachment on a Priest, it just was bad. So we pitch it back. We draw 6. And I know because of this that I'm going to have to play a little bit more passive the first couple of rounds, which is fine because Sigrith is usually pretty slow. So the hope here is that I can grab a couple husks, group up, let him come to me, and then I can really combo off with some of the good spells that I drew here turn 2. So looks like I can't. So he won it, and he picked deployment zone, I think, and then yeah, he's grabbing. I took initiative, so he picked the upper left one, and I'm bottom right, which is perfect for me. I think that's what I wanted to have, honestly. 2 units, still not great, but at least both these units can grab a husk, so that's really important. Whereas the last, you know, activation, Tarek Beast plus Priest really couldn't grab a husk, and then I'm also going to be playing Auric, which I don't usually like to do, but I think my plan is to have Priest stand still, double prey, gain 3 echo. Auric will grab a husk, and then I will grab a husk as well. Um, and I'll have boots, so I should be able to kind of go up, grab this one, and then come back down. So since I have initiative, I am planning to put boosts on Auric, which means Auric's going to be pretty fast and can get to wherever he wants. So that's why I'm having Auric take the one up top, and then I'm going to have the priest, or not the priest, the shaman take the one in the middle, because that's where I want to end and kind of have that engagement is around that middle terrain where I can benefit from Starcast Halls to make my spells cheaper. Plus, the Starcast Halls I think is just one of the best terrains in terms of the blocking terrain. It's really easy to cut off line of sight, set up non-reciprocating shooting. There's choke points to prevent the large base models from getting where you want to. So it's easy to kind of bottle things up and reduce how many units can engage something. So that anytime you can force a fight into those corridors of the large Starcast halls, the better. And I didn't want to get. I mean, he used pretty much his whole 10 movement getting up there, but I want to make sure that Auric can fall back just in case he gets really aggressive somehow and decides that he wants to try to cut off Auric. At least I can fall back to my deployment zone there. So just being cautious not to get too far forward to where I can get into trouble. Same thing with the shaman, just really trying to keep my distance. Um, able to fall back to my deployment zone if things start getting spicy. So, oh, I grabbed the wrong one there. So bow is one of the best, especially when you have the shaman on the board. So I'm ideally looking to pass this bow to a priest, because then my shaman can battle cry the priest and get more shots. Whereas if my shaman's holding on to this crossbow, it can't really get another action from battle cry, right? Can't. There's no battle cry in itself. So the ideally, whenever you get a veil piercer in this list, you want to pass it to a shaman. I mean, a priest, so that your shamans can then battle cry the priest to really stretch that relic further. So I was pretty happy that all he did was kind of hang back and grab these relics. That's going to give me another turn probably where I'm feel pretty safe, in terms of what he deploys. So I don't think Sigrith really can get to anything. and this crossbowman and knight are. I mean, the crossbowman has 14-inch range, which is pretty significant now, and dealing 5 damage. That can definitely over a couple turns drop my shamans, especially my priests if I get to them. So I think I just want to back up, buy more times, allow me to get more card, come out of being down a card initially from my initial starting hand. But with these attachments, I'm drawing a bunch of cards, getting more echo. Yeah, I'm just now I have a second priest. So the more I can slow down the game, the better it's going to be for me because I'll just have a bunch of echo and a bunch more cards. Is really the thought here. The only thing I need to be conscious of is just being, if he gets down to 0 cards and enforce balances. And then the other thing that's really good here is a lot of my stuff is hitting at, 4 damage essentially. So if Auric raises right now, he's hitting at 4 with the Horned Helm. That's perfect because he can't discard a card and then hit me back for retaliation. And then the crossbow as well, just being able to do a ranged threat with 3 damage, force him to try to burn cards without getting a retaliation attack is going to be ideal. So, and now I'm also getting on the bow on the shaman who has the gun, who can pass both of those, I believe. And that's a good point, actually. I don't know if I can pass both items. I'll have to look into that after this game. Maybe someone can comment and let me know if that is legal. You can pass more than one attachment. But I still want to back up because he has 18-inch range. Don't feel like eating 5 damage to a shaman. Or more if he, Valor's commands or whatnot. So again, just wanting to back up, slow down the game, get my echo. Really pass both of these attachments to a priest that can then begin shooting and using my shaman to battle cry it. So he's just cautiously moving up. So pray first, get 2, and then I do want to move this priest to threaten again. So I want to get the priest into position where I can potentially pass it and it can again shoot. So I don't want to hang too far back where I have to walk up and then take shots. I want to, put it in to a position where it can just immediately start shooting something 9 inches away with Veil Piercer and doing damage. And, it also baits him to come forward. If for some reason he does a lot of damage and gets this priest really low or kills this priest, then I don't have to pass the relic to it, right? So I can kind of, and you'll see me do this quite a bit. I just keep passing the relics around to not drop it and give the bow to different priests throughout the whole game. So I'm triple moving here with the boots. And just leaving Auric, baiting this crossbowman to come forward here to be able to take a shot at anything, as well as set up Auric in a position where he can get the free move with the boots and then charge. And so a charge plus the Trial of Stone, 3 attacks, where I'm doing, 4 damage, so 12 damage minimum, assuming I don't critical graze, or up to 18 damage, which can, significantly drop something. Is kind of what I'm. Plus, I have the choice of brutality here that can also do stuff. So I have a lot of options to combo off and just kind of remove something from the battle. But he does have a lot of protection, which makes this tricky. I think he makes a mistake here and sets this range band to 12. I didn't catch it in the game either, but he should have set it to 14 and got an extra 2 inches because one of the things that this is a mistake I see a lot of players make. You never want your crossbowman in front. You always want it behind something. So now the crossbowman's just kind of out of position and it's going to be hard for him to get that exemplar around the crossbowman or even Sigrith around it. If I just kind of engage it and pin it there, right? And then it's hard for him to fall back with it because there's other stuff in the way. He's also getting kind of blocked up against that red terrain, which it kind of prevents him from falling directly backwards. So that's just something to be aware of. Is play as super safe as you can with your crossbowman. Sometimes it's not worth the one shot to keep it further back, right? So what did he do? He took a shot at Auric and did 3 damage to him. Was that worth putting him in that vulnerable of a position? I'm not sure. So I think he's debating whether he wants to bid. I'm kind of planning out my turn. I really don't want to come to him and engage. It's very wide open and very easy for him to maneuver. I am hoping that he charges in to kind of right where I am because there's a choke point, right, pretty much right in front of where Auric is. That would be great if I could somehow bait him into exactly where he's going now with this crossbowman, which is just, again, crossbowman's way out of position. This thing's going to get charged, and yeah, he has protection to back him up, but then how do you get the knight in there? You just need to always deploy these things behind stuff and look for little gaps to shoot from. Um, because yeah, this crossbowman is going to get caught out of position, um, and then it all lets me set up the engagement where I want, which is in this terrain, which is going to be hard to get a lot of these medium bases around. Um, yeah. So I have a couple of different options here. I like the custodian quite a bit just to have like a security blanket. Auric already's taken 3 damage. So yeah, I drop a shaman because again I'm trying to maximize the veil piercer guns, right? So if I have 2 shamans and I pass the veil piercer to one of the priests, that's going to get me hopefully 2 shots with the priest plus another double battle cry. So that's 4 shots with the veil piercer, which is essentially another extra 8 damage. Though the priest to get even more echo and pray is very tempting. I just don't think that. I think the time to pray is over. I need to start getting meaningful activations out of my priest to do damage or even heal or do something else. This brings me down to 1, which I can still Trial of Stone. But I would like to pray once with one of the priests, just to get 3 more, so I could cast, hold both of these spells open, Choice of Brutality and Trial of Stone, potentially. So I'm going to activate first. I'm going to do the charge here. Hopefully I'm going to hit this guy for 6, and then we're going to see if he protects it, and when he does, if he does protect it, I think I'm okay just leaving the crossbowman here. He can double swing on Auric if he really wants. I have counterattack, which is great, but just kind of leaving him almost as using him as a shield. So he actually burns the Shield of Andravis to prevent all 10, and I ask him if he wants to hit back, but I do remind him I have counterattack, and since the legacy isn't a retaliation, I would trigger counterattack, and he opts not to hit the crossbowman. And then since he prevented all the damage, I decide I am going to take up a more defensive position, use my boots to make a free move, and then just leave that crossbowman up, kind of blocking that terrain. So either he has to waste an activation, shifting, or moving the crossbowman away, or stand still and double swing. I guess there really isn't a good option if you were to just stand still. So the move away is probably the smart play here. But this, eats a whole activation, so that's 5 damage I just took off the table. 3 to 5 damage that I just took off the table. And now only one thing is going to be able to charge really Auric and engage him. So this is great because now I'm not at risk of leaving Auric or having a bunch of damage done to Auric. So this priest in the back, it's going to go just get that resources online. So now I'm back to the 4 Echo. If I'm standing on the train, I can cast both Trial of Stone and the Choice of Brutality, which is great. His Tempest Scepter is in a bad position to really be able to block, so I'm having to bait him even closer here. I think a better play here would have had him actually walk away and like gotten a shot on two other things maybe. Like if he walked way up to the top right where the medium conclave terrain is and maybe came straight down. I don't know if he could have done that in an angle, but he sees the value in the scepter for the 2 range attacks on one of my relic holders as well as my shaman, so he takes that. Oh, it looks like I did not pass the Veil Piercer and the attachment this round, which was a mistake. Or maybe I passed it to the new one I deployed. It looks like is what I did. So the one that's not damaged has the relic right now. So again, this is where the crossbowmen are really just out of position. So I pray once, get 3, and then heal 2. I'm kind of surprised I didn't. I guess I was afraid of Sigrith a little bit more. And both of these crossbowmen have gone, so they are kind of locked in position. So I guess I could do this later, but getting something up there to engage both those crossbowmen, lock them down from being able to shoot again, as well as just making it harder for them to move and allow them to kind of use them to block charge lanes as they move from left to right. That was kind of my thought there. So Shaman's going. I think this is the one that was damaged actually. Shaman's going to battle cry the custodian up and get him in position to Auric just in case something unexpected happens. I can use distracting still since this is a battle cry move and he's still ready there. And I think I want to put it, I'm trying to put him in a position where he can be engaging or nearby Auric as well as the shaman, just to kind of utilize it. Just verifying that Auric can't, that Sigrith can't fit through that crossbowman. So again, the only place Sigrith can really go is straight down towards Auric and charge him, or waste her whole activation running up and around the crossbowman and then back down. And I want to get this shaman with the crossbowman. I'm kind of debating where I want to put him. I really want to get him in distracting range, but I also want to pass the relic to the priest, right? Ultimately, I said I can just walk the. I don't think I've gone with that priest. Oh no, I have gone with that priest. But I do have a third one in my hand that I can deploy and pass the relic to. But at least get the value out of it here with a couple of shots. But I really need to get this Veil Piercer to a priest so I can maximize the range attacks with it. So having to have him pick between the 2 he's going to shoot. I think he shoots the relic holder and the priest, if I'm not mistaken. Oh no, he is going to do the back one and just try to put some damage. Again, Sigrith and the exemplar hasn't gone, just leaving up this custodian in case something crazy happens, like a crit. Try to mitigate damage as much as possible. So now I'm going to see if he wants to put Sigrith into Auric or if he's going to put the exemplar in. And is there any big combos? I guess the one thing that I'm a little should have been concerned about, but I think I clip into the red train one way or another. I'm not sure if you can get a clean pull to do Snap Chain on Sigrith and pull him in. That might have been a play with his Reliquary, but so come in and he's going to realize how hard Auric can hit back now. So even on Grays, I do 4 damage, so she's going to have to burn a card to hit me back, which is not great. So I have a bunch of Echo here, and this is kind of one of the combos. So I hit 2 pretty crazy cards here. Um, all that left is the Exemplar, and I'm on the hill. I have 5 Echo up because I just cast Choice of Brutality for 2. I'm gonna deal 5 damage to something for the or 4 damage rather to the Unstoppable Rush, and then draw Endless Rage. Um, So I'm gonna try to kill the relic holder and see if he protects it, which he does. And then I don't think that anything's in danger anymore, so I can move this custodian into position, um, deciding to not engage the knight so that I could potentially deploy off of him if I kill this. Graze for 2, but I'll do 4 by breaking the boots. Go up to 7. So now I have access to Endless Rage and Trial of Stone, which is exactly where I want to be. So I'm doing 4 to him. He's deciding whether he wants to kill the knight or if he wants to lose the crossbowman. Or he could discard a card and keep him at 1. But again, he can't hit back if he does this because it's 4 damage. So this deck finding a lot of good ways to do 4 damage and get away around Sigrith's 3 damage prevention legacy. So, all right. So I'm going to wait for him to go with his Exemplar, and then as soon as the Exemplar does its 2 actions and he's done, before his activation ends, that's when I'm going to hit him with the Endless Rage, and then the Trial of Stone, which is just, or the Endless Rage on Auric, and then really just do a ridiculous amount of damage to something here. So Auric's going, making use of the boots again, getting the free move in, saying bye to Sigrith here. He's going to start clearing off this knight, and hopefully trying to grab this relic. I want to force the fight over here because this husk, if nobody's picking it up, makes it really hard for him to engage anything. We already established that a medium base can't fit through there. So this is a great thing to kind of force the engagement. And then he is trying to keep this knight alive, thinking I can only hit twice, but I'm also able to play Trial of Stone, hit again. So there's another 6, he loses 4. And now I'm proccing hit and run, engaging this crossbowman up here. So just an incredible swinging turn of the Choice of Brutality into the Endless Rage into a Trial of Stone, doing, I don't know, what was that? That was 12, 16 damage to kill a knight, but also, 4 of that to the knight, and then 12 of it to an Exemplar, going and engaging the other crossbowman. At this point, I'm feeling really good. I'm going to have a bunch of activations. I got a knight down here that I can deploy to apply as another blocker to kind of just bottle Sigrith up. Because if I deploy something directly kind of in between that shaman and the knight, it's going to take Sigrith way too long to like loop around to my guns down by the priest and everything. And Auric is just going to smash a lot of stuff at the top. I mean, that crossbowman's dying. I'll kill that Exemplar. I'll kill the priest as well. So Sigrith's kind of off on an island by herself. He finally grabs initiative, though I don't really know what he's doing with it, to be honest with you. I think he has a lot of cards that he needs to remove still. So again, putting a blocker right here, saying you pretty much need to kill this knight now. before you come down and can really get in and move to where you want to. Deploying another priest. Priest is grabbing the gun now from the shaman, just passing around this relic every turn, maximizing the damage. Early on, I should probably prioritize a priest just to keep this rush of salvation up. I mean, rush of salvation with a combo like um, the exemplar to free move him into something and turn it so it's a graze for distract, or just to bring Auric into a double move so that it can be in range to, like, let's say Sigrith goes, Sigrith walks down, hits this knight. I could rush a salvation Auric to come over and now be engaging Sigrith, so it can double smack Sigrith and kill her. There's just a lot of different possibilities with rush of salvation, so probably an early activation prey to get that on, though I'm not really afraid or feel like anything is at risk of dying. A lot of Sigrith's burst comes from dealing burst damage from discarding a card and doing 3 damage. So I think that just as long as I don't attack and make dumb attacks where he can get those free attacks from the shield back, I'm not really worried of anything dying at this point. He's going with the crossbowman, shifts away from Auric, which doesn't really do anything because I have the boots and can get a free move back into him. Yep, so early prey, get Rush of Salvation online, heal 2 on something. I'm not quite sure what his thoughts are. I don't really have him on what kind of cards he could have in his hand. I was kind of shocked he didn't deploy anything and bid Rogarth away just to save the crossbowman, essentially. I don't know. I think deploying Rogarth maybe would have been a better play there. But I think at this point we both kind of understand based on activations and the board position that we're just kind of going through the motion and know how this game is going to end. He gets a free move. I'm going to be attacking the Exemplar. He does shield it, which I think this is a... Did I get a hit? So it's going to do 1 damage still. So again, even when I hit him, being able to do damage and prevent more. And even if he would have been able to, it was a graze, I'm pretty sure I can still break my item to do the damage. He's discarding cards, burning cards left and right, just to stay alive. I think after doing the discard, I decide I'm going to break an item just to finish him off. Maybe not. I think I'm trying to maximize mastery as well this game because I'm 2-0, but there's like 3 other 2-0s as well. And if they go 3, and I think that my mastery differential isn't the greatest at this point, so I need a big game. I know if I'm going to be pushing into first. Again, this would not be a problem if it was strength of schedule. I really wish that they would cut over to using strength of schedule so you wouldn't have to draw these games out and really just focus on the best way to farm your opponent in mastery. I don't know. I guess, yeah. I'm sure Marty, who is my opponent this game, who is one of the best opponents I've played him a number of times now. He's always good spirited, and the game's always really fun. We're always trash talking each other in a jovial type of way. I think he would have been like to have this game ended sooner as well, but we're playing it out. So yeah, I think at this point I'm seeing that with the crossbowman, I can kill Sigrith, kill this exemplar, and then pick up both husks. So that's going to be a big swing. So I'm going to be doing 17 plus another 20, so 37 this turn on top of the 28 I already have. I don't think I can get either the priest or the crossbowman. And I think the only mastery he's gotten, I've broken one boots. I think that's it. I don't. I think I, I was very tempted to break the other boots to kill that exemplar with Auric, but I'm glad I didn't because I think I won the mastery differential by 1 point. I think Bruno came in second place, and he had one less mastery than I did. So if I would have gotten greedy and broken those boots to kill that exemplar, with Auric, that early activation, I would not have won. He would have Bruno would have taken first. But luckily, I identified that I have plenty of activations. I couldn't get more kills by killing the priest or crossbowman. He's just too far out. Um, but yeah, I think that's going to do it. I'm just kind of showing a couple plays where he probably should have swapped out the Aegis a lot sooner. Maybe it would have made a difference for keeping Sigrith alive, but that's it. So yeah, hopefully you guys realize now the power of Auric with the combos that he can get off. Just making use of Rush of Salvation, Trial of Stone to do a lot of damage. I still haven't gotten and shown off. Well, I haven't shown off in a video Trial of Stone to do 10 damage with, which is the you hit first with Trial of Stone. Hopefully they hit you back, and then you do another 10. Most times, and oftentimes, the way I like to play it is if you can just use it to make one attack and draw a card. That's usually pretty good. And I think this game too. I think I ended up drawing like 5 or 6 cards, which just shows you how deep you can draw into your deck and find the exact answers you want, which is exactly what mid range is trying to do. Yeah, if you guys haven't already, please like and subscribe to the channel. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. But otherwise, until next time, thank you.